Stand at the end of your mat, feet together in mountain pose, Tadasana. Stand tall, arms at your sides. Open your chest and widen your collarbones. Direct your gaze forward and down. Establish Ujjayi breathing, an ever-present ocean sound from the base of your throat. Creates a confident, steady rhythm. Breathe in, sweeping your arms forward and up, palms together, open chest. As you breathe out, arch your upper back, gazing toward your hands. Inhale, stand upright, hands shoulder-width apart. Exhale, bend your knees deeply to powerful pose, Utkatasana. Tuck your tail. Shoulders over knees, straight arms. Inhale, straighten the knees, hinging from the hips, come forward and down. Exhale, standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Relax. Bend your knees, palms to the floor, and lift your chest. Inhale, press strongly down through your hands and jump back, plank pose. Shoulders over wrist with broad collarbones and a flat back. Slightly curl your tail toward the floor, drawing your abdomen in for lower back support. Now turn your inner elbows forward as you breathe in. Shift your whole body forward. Breathe out, bend your elbows. Yoga push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Your whole body 2 inches from the floor, collarbones lifted, gazing forward, flat back. Breathe in, sweep your chest forward and up, rolling over your toes. Push your elbows straight. Upward facing dog pose, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Strongly ground your hands and feet. Straighten your knees. Support your lower back in this back bend by pulling your abdomen in as you exhale. Don't rush. Steady breath. Each breath out strong, confident from the base of the throat as your abdomen draws back and up. Each breath in, open and lift your chest more. Breathe in, push up through plank pose. Breathing out, roll over your toes to downward facing dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feet hip-width apart. Press your hands to the floor, pushing your hips back away from your hands to lengthen your spine and stretch your shoulders. Elbows straight. Ears between the arms. Push your hips back. Exhale. Breathe in, step your right foot between your hands, and turning your left leg slightly in, root the left heel firmly to the floor. Check your alignment. Knee over ankle, right leg bent 90 degrees. Turn your hips so navel, knee, and toes face the end of the mat, adjusting your stance if necessary. Heel firmly rooted. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up, carrying your torso upright. Exhale, Warrior Pose 1, Virabhadrasana 1. As in Upward Dog, the inhalation expands your chest. The exhalation draws your lower abdomen back and up to support the lower back. Straight elbows, pull your inner arms past your ears, gazing straight forward. Breathe in, sweep forward and down, place your hands on the floor, shoulder width apart. Breathe out, step to plank pose. Broad, lifted collarbones. Don't let your hips hang. Gently tuck your tail, navel to backbone. Turn your inner elbows forward, and breathing in, push your body forward. Breathe out, bend your elbows to Yoga Push-Up, Chaturanga Dandasana. 2 complete breaths, collarbones up, back flat, gaze forward. Inhale, sweep your chest forward and up, pushing your elbows straight as you roll over your toes to upward-facing dog pose, generating support for the lower back by pulling your lower abdomen back and up, shoulders towards the heels. Inhale, push up through plank pose, rolling over your toes, and exhale, downward-facing dog pose. Steady breath. Move your inner thighs into the space behind your legs and extend your heels toward the floor. Sitting bones lifting to the sky. Breathe in, step your left foot between your hands. Right leg slightly in, anchor your outer right heel firmly. Check the alignment of the left leg, 90-degree angle to the bend, knee over ankle, turning your hips so navel, kneecap, toes face the end of the mat. Be precise. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, pulling your torso upright. Exhale, warrior one. Keep your knee deeply bent. Breathe steadily. As in every back bend, the breath in opens and lifts the chest. The breath out draws the lower abdomen back and up toward the heart. Sweep your inner arms behind your ears. And breathe. It makes all the difference. Chest forward. More. Inhale, hands to the floor. Exhale, plank pose. Broad collarbones. As the tail gently tucks, lift your inner thighs to stabilize your hips. Breathe in, shift your whole body forward. With a flat back, exhale, lower to Chaturanga Dandasana, 2 inches off the floor, elbows by the ribs. Don't squeeze. Collarbones up. Breathe in, sweep your chest forward, arcing up as you roll over your toes, push your elbows straight, upward dog. Exhale your side ribs forward and lift your collarbones as though they could roll over the tops of your shoulders. Gaze forward. Legs strong. Breathe in, push through plank pose, rolling over your toes, and breathe out, downward facing dog pose. Steady your breathing. Consciously steady the sound, more audible in your throat than nose. Steady and sure. Slow it down. Rest in child pose anytime you need a rest. From downward dog, breathe in, bending your knees. Press down with your hands and jump forward, landing with the breath out in standing forward bend. Straightening your knees, feet hip-width apart. Hold your big toes and inhale, lift the chest. Broaden your collarbones and straighten your elbows. Exhale, bend your elbows, pulling your belly and ribs toward your legs. Relax your neck. Straight knees. Breathe in, bend your knees, sweeping your arms forward and up to powerful pose, Utkatasana. Keep the knees deeply bent. Slight tuck of the tail, shoulders over knees, gazing forward. Inhale, straighten the knees, standing upright, and exhale, arch your upper back, reach toward the wall behind you, drawing your lower abdomen back for support. Inhale, stand up straight. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides, return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up, palms together. Arch your upper back, lifting your heart to the ceiling as though on a string. Gaze at your hands. Breathe in, stand upright. Breathe out, hands shoulder-width apart, bend your knees, Utkatasana. Shoulders over knees, straight arms, tucked tail, steady breathing, gazing forward. Inhale, straighten your knees as you hinge from the hips and with a flat back, bend forward. Exhale, relaxed standing forward bend. Just hang. Feet hip-width apart, hook your index and middle fingers around your big toes as you breathe in and lift the chest, widening your collarbones. Breathe out, bend your elbows, pulling your belly and ribs toward your thighs. Relax your neck. Inhale, bend your knees, place your palms on the floor and jump to plank pose. Exhale. Hips at the level of the shoulders, shoulders over wrists, broad collarbones, flat back, gently curling your tail and lifting your inner thighs to stabilize your hips. Breathe in, shift your body forward. Breathe out, bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Body 2 inches from the floor, collarbones lifting, flat back. Breathe in, sweep your chest forward and up, roll over your toes, pushing your elbows straight and supporting your lower back by drawing your lower abdomen back and up toward the heart. Open chest. Gaze forward. Side ribs forward. Inhale, push through plank pose, rolling over your toes. Exhale to downward facing dog pose. With your head between your arms, gaze straight down and steady your breath. Press your hands into the floor to push your hips back over your heels and extend the heels towards the floor, moving your inner thighs into the space behind you. Broad shoulder blades, straight elbows, relaxed neck. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands, bend your leg to a right angle, planting your left heel and little toe joint firmly on the floor. Check your alignment. Right knee over the ankle, 90-degree bend, navel and kneecap facing the toes. Breathe in, sweeping your arms forward and up. Breathe out into Warrior One. Each breath in expands your heart. Left side ribs forward. Each breath out, draw back and up with the abdomen. Sweep your inner arms past your ears, straight elbows. Drop your head between your shoulder blades, gazing at your hands. Lift the heart to the ceiling. Inhale, hands to floor. Exhale, step to plank pose. Broad chest. Stable hips. Breathe in, shift the body forward. Breathe out, bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana, flat back. Collarbones lifting so you don't overdevelop your upper back muscles. Inhale, heart sweeps forward. Exhale, upward facing dog pose. Roll your collarbones up, gaze forward. Inhale, push up to plank pose, rolling over your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Steady breathing. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands, rooting your right heel and little toe joint. Check your alignment. Navel and knee face forward. Knee over the ankle protects the knee. Inhale, arms forward and up, sweeping the torso up to Warrior Pose 1. Expand the chest. Bringing your right ribs forward and sweeping your inner arms past your ears, head to shoulders, gaze at your hands. Steady breath. Exhale. Inhale, arms forward and down, palms to the floor. Exhale, plank pose, broad collarbones, stable lower back. Breathe in. Firm torso forward. Bring your elbows over your wrists. Breathe out. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga Dandasana. 2 inches from the floor. Strong, steady breathing. Inhaling, sweep your chest forward and up to upward facing dog pose. Pull your shoulders towards your heels. Strong legs. Press the feet down as you lift the inner thighs and move your tailbone through your hands. push up through plank pose, rolling over your toes to downward facing dog pose. Ears between your arms, steady breath, strong exhalations. Shoulder blades wide as you press your hands into the floor, transferring your weight from the heel of the hand to the balls of the fingers, and pull your forearm toward the elbow to stabilize your wrist joint. Bend your knees, breathe in, press down with your hands as you jump forward. Exhale, standing forward bend. Hold your big toes, breathe in, chest and collarbone spread and lift. Breathe out, bend your elbows and pull your belly and ribs, possibly even your chest, toward your legs. The full pose may actually take some time to accomplish. Breathe in, bend your knees as deeply as possible, but don't let them squeeze together as you sweep your arms forward and up to Utkatasana. Strong pose, but calm in your core, focused and clear-minded. Inhale, stand upright and arch back with maximum lift in your chest. Bring your straight arms as close to parallel with the floor as possible while gazing at your hands. Inhale, stand upright. Exhale, lower your arms, mountain pose. Last time. Feet together, Tadasana, arms at the sides. Lift your toes, spreading the balls of your feet, feeling your big and little toe joints and the center of your front heel equally rooted to the floor. Toes down again. Feel your spine float over your heels, forming a plumb line, perfect balance. Inhaling, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, arch back, heart to ceiling, upper thighs back. Gaze at your hands. Breathe in, stand upright, separate the hands. Breathe out, deep bend in the knees, Utkatasana, shoulders over knees. Bend the knees more, don't squeeze them together. Root the feet. Inhale, straightening your knees, hinge from the hips with a flat back, sweeping forward. Exhale, standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Slide your palms under the front of your feet. Inhale, lift your chest, broad collarbones. Exhale, bend your elbows with straight knees. Pull your belly, ribs, and chest toward your knees. Padahastasana, foot on hand pose. If your chest is on your knees, bring your head to your shins. Slide your hands out. Inhale, bend your knees, palms down at shoulder width, and jump back. Land with an exhalation in a sturdy plank pose. Broad chest, strong arms, tail tucked. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, 2 inches from the floor, flat back, collarbones lifted. Breathe. Inhale, sweep the chest and elbows forward, roll over your toes. Upward facing dog pose. Lower abdomen back and up towards the heart to support and expand this back bend more. Bring your inner armpits forward and up, dropping your head back, press it between your shoulder blades. It lifts your chest. Breathe in, push up through plank pose as you roll over your toes. Breathe out, downward facing dog pose. Each breath in, the body expands. Each breath out, polish your pose. Long spine, inner thighs back, steady breathing. Breathe in, step your right foot between your hands, forming a right angle. Plant your outer left foot firmly down. Align your right leg precisely as you inhale, sweeping your arms forward, torso up. Exhale, warrior one. Each exhale polishes your technique. Outer back foot down, pull your upper thigh into the bone to lengthen the leg. Strong breath out. Press the back of the skull between your shoulder blades, extending your arms over your back leg and sweeping your side ribs forward. Lift your chest even more. Breathe in, hands to floor. Breathe out, plank pose. Flatten your back. Steady your breathing. Sturdy body. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Collarbones up, lower back flat. Pull your forearms toward your elbows to give your wrist joints space. Breathe in, forward and up with your chest and elbows. Roll over your toes. Upward facing dog pose. Press your head back between your shoulders. Widen your chest and roll your shoulders towards your heels. Strong legs. Inner thighs lift. Inhale, push through plank pose as you roll over your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands, rooting your outer right foot to the floor. Check the alignment of your left leg. Be precise. Knee over ankle, navel and knee face the toes. I know you're tired, but don't get sloppy. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Exhale, warrior pose 1. Head pressed between your shoulder blades. Arms extend over the back leg. Sweep your ribs forward more. Chest lifting. Strong breathing. Inhale, hands down. Exhale, plank pose. Broad chest. Confident, calm breath. Breathe in, shift your body forward. Breathe out. Bend your elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana, your body straight as a stick. Inhale, sweep forward to upward facing dog pose. Head presses back between your shoulder blades. Lift your heart higher. Strong legs, strong breath. Downward facing dog pose, steady breathing. Refine your pose. Inhale, press your hands down. Exhale, taking your heels toward the floor, moving your inner thighs into the space behind you. If your collarbones had eyes, they'd be staring at your fingers. You may feel the response that movement brings in the muscles of your upper back, allowing you to open your chest without hyperextending your shoulders. Breathe in, pulling your chin to your chest so the crown of the head faces the floor. Steady breathing. Look at your hands. Inhale, strongly root your hands and jump forward. Land with an exhalation in standing forward bend. Straighten your knees and let your whole torso and arms hang down. With a relaxed neck, slow your breathing, especially the out-breath. Relax your belly. Remember, true power comes in being able to balance effort with surrender. Inhale as you bend your knees and open your chest. Sweep your arms forward and up to Utkatasana. Deep bend in the knees, curling your tailbone slightly down. Inhale, stand upright. Exhale, arch your upper back over, heart high, straight elbows, gaze at your hands. Inhale, upright. Exhale, lower your hands to your sides. Tadasana. Lie face down on your mat, extending your right arm out in front of you. and roll onto your right side, placing your left hand on the floor in front of your chest. Bend your elbow, resting your head on your hand, and look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, a straight line from right elbow to ankle. Once you've checked your alignment, bring your head back onto the same line as the rest of your body. Steady your breathing. Flex your toes, pressing the inner big toe joints together, and lengthen your tailbone away from your waist, curling it slightly forward toward the front hips, while at the same time drawing your uppermost inner thigh slightly back into the space behind you. These two movements basically cancel each other out, but it stabilizes your hips, and you may feel the action engaging muscles deep in your abdomen. This inner firmness stabilizes your lower back as well, allowing you to now bring your left arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. This delicate balance, Vishnu's couch, can disturb your breathing, making it tentative, nervous. Steady yourself with the gentle balance of the tailbone and inner thighs coming together as though pulled together by magnets, as well as a steady out-breath. Slide your right arm behind your head, turning your head to the left, gazing at your hand. Correct your position if you've rolled back onto your buttocks. The balance in this pose is on the round bone of your outer hip. Again, stabilize your pose with your exhalation. Breathe in as you release and rolling to the other side. Stretch your left arm forward. Bend the elbow, resting your head on your hand. Look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, straight line from elbow to ankle. Keep your right hand on the floor until you establish your balance, and make this as delicate a balance as possible. Again, lengthen the tailbone away from the waist, curling it gently forward. Inner thighs gently back, forming a firm base that stabilizes your hips and lower spine. Bring your right arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. Again, notice how instability makes your breathing nervous. Find your inner calm with a steady out-breath. Slide your hand behind your head, turning your head to the right and gazing at your fingers. Don't try to make this pose easy. Learn to balance as though on a tightrope. Inhale, turn toward the floor, placing your hands palms down by your ribs, and turn your toes under. Bring your elbows in, and again, strong action, tailbone away from the waist, curling forward, inner thighs back to stabilize your core, this time flattening the back. Curl your collarbones up. Check, flat back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, push strongly down with your hands and feet, pushing your elbows forward, straightening your arms, and lifting your torso straight and solid as a stick to plank pose. Steady breathing. Push to downward facing dog pose. Come back to plank pose. Turning your right leg in, press your outer right foot into the floor and try to root the big toe joint as well. Come forward until your shoulder is almost over your wrist, so your arm is angled slightly forward. Bring your left hand to your hip, and for the moment, keep your left toes on the floor. Adjust the distance between your hand and foot so that your hips are no higher than your shoulders. In fact, as you now inhale and press down with your right hand, you'll lift your chest higher than your hips. Again, press down with your right hand and big toe, chest lifts, tailbone forward, inner thighs back, stable spine. Extend your left arm up to the ceiling, palm forward, gazing straight ahead. Steady your breathing. Feel your core support. Now bring your left leg alongside your right. Steady breathing. Turning your head slowly, gaze at your left hand. Concentrate. Come smoothly out of your pose. Inhale, release. Exhale to plank pose, turning to the left. Press the outer left foot into the floor and try to ground the big toe joint. Keeping your right foot on the floor for the moment, right hand on your hip, measure your stance. Enough distance between your hand and foot that your chest will be higher than your hips. Inhale, press strongly down with your hand, lift your chest. Exhale, tailbone forward, inner thighs back. Strongly ground your left arm and foot, extending your right arm to the ceiling, gazing straight ahead. Now bring your right leg alongside your left. Stable back. Inhale, begin to turn your head, gazing up at your hand. Concentrate. Inhale, release, exhale, back to plank pose. Come down to your knees, swing your feet to the side, and lie down on your back with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Join your hands behind your head, widen your shoulder blades, and bring your elbows to the floor. Press your head ever so slightly against your hands. Don't overdo it. You don't want to compress your neck or have your chin jut up. Imagine for a moment lines of movement running from your side ribs, down, crossing at your navel, and anchoring deep in the inner hips. Pinning both your sit bones and lower back to the floor. Keeping your upper body in its fixed position, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide, head pressed gently back. Inhale, lift the chest to pull your upper body off the floor. Exhale, pull your navel to your spine, and as though someone is pulling your side ribs, rise a little higher. Release, coming all the way to the floor, and relax for a moment. Again, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide. Feel as though strings are attached to your side ribs. Inhale, chest rises, pulling you off the floor. Exhale, side ribs pull you up, navel pressing into the backbone. Don't use your arms. Can you pull one more set of ribs off the floor using your side ribs? Down you come to rest. Now turn onto your side and sit up. Place your feet on the floor about hip-width apart in front of you and hold the backs of your knees. Lengthen your spine from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. Move your front hips away from your navel to pull your lower back toward the front body. Shifting your weight back as little as possible, take your feet off the floor. Rolling your front hip bones down to the floor, raise your feet to the level of your knees. Pushing your navel towards your legs. A surge of energy like a laser from the pelvic floor to the heart. Inhale, straighten your knees as much as you can. Exhale, push the navel towards the legs. If you lose this core lift, bend your knees again slightly. Now breathe in and slowly let go of your knees. Exhale, extend your arms straight forward, palms face each other. One good breath. Breathe in, chest open and lifting. Breathe out, navel pushing towards the legs. Bend your knees, feet to the floor. Join your hands behind your head, elbows wide, and gently round your back. Navel hugging the backbone. Heart open, elbows wide. Slowly lower yourself, breath by breath. Breathe in, you pause. Breathe out, your navel pushes you a little lower until your shoulders are as close to knee level as possible. From that position, inhale, raise your feet to knee level. Exhale, straighten your feet to eye level. Steady breathing, one strong breath. Inhale, feet to the floor. Exhale, navel to legs. Release your arms and swing your feet to the side, coming up to a simple squat. Place your feet hip-width apart, arms between your legs, palms down. Come up onto the balls of your toes, hips resting on the heels if possible. Bring your arms between your legs, palms down on the floor. Now breathe in, pulling your inner thighs up to the side ribs and your knees to your shoulders. Breathe out. Suck your navel into your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Once again, inhale, pulling your inner thighs to your side ribs and knees to shoulders. Exhale, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back, hips at knee level, no higher. Come down to rest, knees on the floor, or even child pose. Let's do that again. Come up onto the balls of your toes, arms between your legs, palms down. Breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your ribs, knees to shoulders. Stare at the floor. Breathe out, suck your navel to your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to the level of the knees, no higher. Breathe in, inner thighs up, raise your arms to shoulder height, extending them forward. Breathe out. Suck the navel into your backbone, rounding your back. Release. Knees to the floor or child pose. Onto your toes again. Arms between your legs. Drop your shoulders, bringing one upper arm and then the other under your upper shins. Place your hands mat-width apart, elbows no wider than your hands, and press your arms into the shins to lift your chest and shoulders up again. Don't lean over, and again, breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your side ribs. Breathe out, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Don't lean over. Keep your chest lifting, gaze forward. Breathe in, push off from your feet and push your elbows forward, scooping your chest up, bringing it forward. Exhale, navel to backbone. Breathe in, straightening your elbows. They're over your fingers now as your navel sucks into your back. Now pull your feet up into your hips. You're in Bakasana, crane pose. Elbows straight, chest forward and up, steady breathing. Breathe in, bend your elbows, feet back on the floor. Rest on your knees and come to child pose. Take a blanket and roll it up to make a firm bolster. Place it on your mat. Lie over the bolster with your shoulders on top of it and your head on the floor. If you can't bring your head to the floor, or if your neck is compressed so your chin juts up, place another blanket under your head. Relax your legs, letting the belly organs drop into the back body. Your lower back muscles may relax enough that you can lengthen your lower back away from the bolster. Now, extend your arms toward the ceiling above your chest. Lace your fingers together with your palms facing each other. Keeping your elbows straight, breathe in and extend your arms overhead toward the floor. Inner arms descend toward the floor to widen your shoulder blades. Steady breathing. Long exhalations. Continue to let your belly organs drop into the back body to encourage length in the lower back. Supported back bends such as this allow the external muscles of the back to soften and relax, letting nutrient-rich blood pump through soft connective tissue that attaches to the spine. They're very effective warm-ups for any back-bending practice. Though supported, you're conscious of your breath, rhythmic in and out. Feel it in your lower back ribs, expanding, relaxing like gills. Conscious of your shoulders moving away from your ears and widening. Conscious of your inner arms descending past the ears toward the floor. Inhale and raise the arms back above the chest. Keep your fingers interlaced, turning your palms up, pushing them toward the ceiling. Again, straight elbows and leading with the inner arms. Breathe in, stretch the arms overhead again, bringing them toward the floor. If your elbows have to bend, stop at the point where you can keep them straight. Continue to elongate the arms, feeling the inner shoulders, that's your armpits, deepening from front to back to widen the shoulder blades. And still, inner arms descend past the ears toward the floor. Steady breathing, belly organs resting in the back body, coaxing the lower back ever longer. Release your arms and push yourself a couple of inches further over your blanket, so your bolster is now positioned under the tightest part of most people's backs, the thoracic spine. That's the part of the spine to which your ribs are attached. The muscles here often hold enormous tension and become stiff, contributing to pain and back bends, especially in the lower back, which overcompensates for the lack of thoracic flexibility. Supporting your upper back in this way gives you time to relax these muscles. Let your spine drape like spaghetti over the bolster. And just breathe. Feel again the breath moving in and out of your lower back ribs. Don't expect instant results. We live in a fast-driving world, and yoga teaches the value of patience. It takes time to undo years of tension. If your lower back is quite uncomfortable, place your feet on the floor, pick up your hips, and do a strong pelvic tilt. Hold it for a couple of seconds, relax, and then repeat it twice more. When you settle back over your bolster, relax your legs again, and your lower back should feel relief. But if it doesn't, put a larger lift under your head. Steady breathing. Even though your chest appears open, is it actually tight inside? The rhythm of your breath encourages a spacious, open chest, expansive even at the core. Each exhalation steady and complete. Your top shoulders melt toward the floor. Belly organs fall into the back body. Feel the breath in your lower back ribs. Feel the back ribs wide on the bolster. Keeping your back body wide, expand the chest. Breathing in, let your heart float up like it's on a string, being pulled through the breastbone toward the sky. Now place your feet flat on the floor. Lift your hips and slide your bolster out. Place your feet parallel on the floor, a little wider than hip width, with your knees over your feet, so your lower legs form a structural plumb line. That is, they're vertical. Relax your arms at your sides. Continue to let your belly organs rest in the back body and soften your inner thighs so the groins or inner hips of the legs feel deep, like deep pockets. Breathe in your back ribs. Rolling your collarbones forward over the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen your hamstrings from the backs of your hips to the backs of your knees, pushing your knees over your toes, pulling your hips slightly off the floor, but no back bend yet. Your belly organs drop back, your back opens to receive them. The hamstrings pull your spine long as though your backbone is elastic. Feel the length in your back. Now release to the floor again and relax for a moment. Again, inhaling, hamstrings lengthen to push your knees forward, pulling your hips off the floor. Feel your elastic spine long and wide. Perhaps you can even wiggle your shoulders an inch closer to your feet. Breathe in again, long hamstrings. Breathe out, open the backs of your knees, pressing the balls of the feet into the floor to lift your hips. And as your hips rise to the level of your knees, suck your kneecaps into the back of each leg. Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Make space to breathe. Exhalations equal to inhalations. Inhale, release, elongating your spine as you come back to the floor and relax. Steady breathing. Again, inhale, hamstrings sweep to the knees, long spine, but not rigid. Exhale, press the feet down, kneecaps suck into the back of the leg and the hips rise. Bring your arms under your back, join your hands, and roll your shoulder blades together a bit. Press the back of your head, your feet, and now your elbows into the floor. Each breath in, hamstrings lengthen. Each breath out, calves press down into the balls of the feet, kneecaps back, hips lift. As the hips lift, the inner thighs and groins descend. The more you press down with the feet and pull the kneecaps toward the back knee, the higher the hips will go. Breathe. Breathe in, press down, lengthen the hamstrings. Exhale, kneecaps pulled back. Your heart is on a string being pulled to the sky. Steady breathing. Your exhalation has a voice. Can you hear it? It's a steady, smooth sound like the ocean, and it pumps your back bend up with each new breath. Inhale, release your back bend, lengthen your lower back, come down to the floor. Pull your knees to your chest if your lower back hurts, and just rest, slowing your breathing down. Now, feet back to the floor. Place your hands palms down on the floor on each side of your head. Fingers facing the shoulders, hands and elbows shoulder-width apart, rolling your inner arms past your ears toward the floor. Breathe in, lengthen your hamstrings. Breathe out, open the backs of the knees, press the balls of the feet into the floor, and come onto your shoulders, like for bridge pose. Walk your shoulders an inch towards your heels. Keep the backs of the knees open. Breathe in again, hamstrings long. Breathe out, pull the kneecaps in, press down with your hands, and straighten your elbows, rolling your shoulders toward your tailbone as though forming a circle with your spine. Upward facing bow pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Relax your neck. Breathe in, hamstrings long. Breathe out, open behind the knees, press down with your feet to lift your hips. Continue to press the hands firmly down. Draw your front armpits into the back shoulder and lift the heart to the sky. And breathe, really. Come out of the pose by breathing in as you bend your elbows, chin to chest, and relax back to the floor, pulling your knees to your chest if your back hurts. Steady your breathing. Learning these details are important. They're the little fine-tunings that allow you to do poses such as these difficult back bends confidently and smoothly. Remember, ideally, yoga is practiced with as little effort and discomfort as possible. Hands by the head. Wriggle your shoulders away from your fingers. Press down with your hands and feet. Pay particular attention to your breathing. Work it like a pump to make your pose stronger and more open. Breathe in, hamstrings to knees. Breathe out, open the back knees. Press down with the balls of the feet and lift the hips. Breathe in again, lengthen the hamstrings. Breathe out, press down with the hands and feet, and make a circle with your spine by rolling your shoulders towards your tailbone as you straighten your elbows. Relax your neck. Steady breath. Make space for that exhalation. Deep groins. Inner thighs descend even as the hips rise up. Each breath out, open the back of the knee, sucking the kneecaps in. Heart pulled to the sky. Your back is broad. Breathe into your back ribs. Even the belly organs drop into the back body, stretched and toned by the back bend. Breathe in, bend your elbows, keeping them in, chin to chest. Down you come to rest. Pay special attention to your breathing this final time. Third time the charm. Feet slightly wider than the hips, hands by the head. Inhale, lengthen the hamstrings. Press down with your hands and feet. Exhale, open behind your knees. Straighten your arms and up you come, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. Come onto your toes, lifting your chest away from the floor and relaxing your neck. Exhale, press the heels down again, pulling your knees towards your arms and your inner arms towards your knees to lift even higher. Steady breathing, rolling the top shoulders toward your tailbone to form a circle, your heart pouring out toward the floor in front of you. Steady breathing, the body expands on the breath in. Refine your technique on your breath out. Breathe in and release. Chin to chest, elbows bend, down to the floor. Hug your knees in. Now, cross your left ankle over your right and hold your feet. Pull your feet to your hips. This will press your lower back into the floor, a nice counter pose to your back bends. Change sides. Cross your right ankle over your left. Hold your feet. Pull your feet to your hips. Belly organs back. Release, placing your feet on the floor, and relax. Relaxation pose. Lie on your back with your legs outstretched and relaxed. Your arms 6 to 8 inches away from the sides of your body, and your head on the floor or a folded blanket if you wish. If your lower back is uncomfortable, roll up a blanket underneath your knees. Now close your eyes and fall back into the floor. Let your closed eyes help you to become aware of your internal body. You can feel it by letting the breath move you. You can hear the inner body as you listen to the sound of the gentle breath moving out and in. Your breath is like a heartbeat. Your breath is the heart of your vital body. Imagine each breath pumping new life through you, just as the heart pumps blood. Tension builds up in our bodies, making us shrink and become tight. As you continue to feel the breath pumping new life through you, let this inner movement expand you so that you're no longer shrinking, no longer tight. If the mind wanders, bring it back to your internal body by focusing on your breathing. Look inside your body with your mind's eye and visit spaces that have been visited by your active poses. places that you may have forgotten about, spacious inner hips, a soft belly. Before you open your eyes, become aware of your surroundings again, and imagine yourself looking out at your surroundings from deep inside. Now open your eyes. Opening your eyes may pull your attention immediately from your core and into the outside world. So with the eyes open, relax them and look back inside once again. It's like looking out through a window. Be aware of how you are at this moment, both engaged with your surroundings and completely in touch with your inner self. Try to let this feeling linger